Hi, welcome to Kim's Art Show, episode 37. Last episode, I worked with an underpainting in complements, and today I'm working on pastel matte and this is a really intense color, kind of mustard adjacent, and this paper is crazy. It is soft, smooth. You wouldn't know it has a finish. It accepts wet medium. It accepts tons of layers, and it's really this ideal pastel paper. I don't know how this is going to go. Sometimes when I'm doing something that's a little more complicated, I might do, because when I come to the studio, I'll do a couple of episodes. This one might get to a certain point and then I'll take it home as opposed to work on it at another episode, because I don't know. But I am interested in doing something that's a little bit more complicated, and so here we are. This color is really warm, and my reference is this tiny square. And it's complicated. It is my kitchen and little back hallway to the little laundry area. But I like this little view, and I like the little stuff. And so I'm going to try to paint it. That sounds really confident, doesn't it? I'm gonna try. So I have this wonky square, and what I want to do is divide it into fourths. Is that right? Yeah, half and half again. And I'm going to do this very light line. What's funny is when I make marks, and you can see them here and here, I'm normally yeah, really hard. And so I have to be very cognizant of making my marks lighter, more careful. On the picture, I also divided the parts in half, and I'm gonna try to kind of map out. Now, I don't necessarily grid things unless it's a, what do you call it, like a figurative work where the nose needs to be where the nose needs to be. And this is similar, the architecture needs to be where the architecture needs to be, or it's not gonna look right. So this is some trim, and my lines and such are gonna be kind of whatever, that's okay. And I was checking out some old episodes, and at one point I loved how I was like, this isn't exact, but that's not what this is about. And I like that. I like that. What is this about? And for me, this is about a feeling, like a little capturing of this interior. And so here we are. It's kind of funny to draw something of your own house, of your own family. Oh, so here's where I hang my purse. This is the table. And when people say things like, oh, I can't draw a straight line, that always cracks me up. I say it too, I can't draw a straight line. You can see none of these are straight, but also line drawing ability is not some sort of talent that you're born with. And I don't know that there are a lot of people who can draw straight lines. This is the fruit bowl. This looks like some sort of softball bat, maybe? None of it matters, right? That's going to be a dark shape on the table. There's some bananas. There's fruit. My daughter in college plays softball, so I think sometimes in our fruit bowl we might have a softball, which I love because, it's funny. All right, so see, we're getting there. And I like this. It's shape after shape after shape. And it's not another marsh, because, I do get tired of them too. Up here, there's a little assortment of paintings and prints. This is kind of cool. There's a little thing leaning here that's a print from a woman in Montana, I think. But this print says on it, "Comparison is the thief of joy." And I love that saying because so often if I'm on social media or at a gallery and I look at someone else's work and I'm like, dang, that work is good. You know, all of a sudden it's that spiral of, is my work as good? No, don't compare, just go shine your light. And so there it is, comparison is the thief of joy. All right, then I have this cute little candle holder thing that looks like maybe I got it at Sturbridge Village or a yard sale, same difference maybe. This is this cute little picture that my daughter drew of the moon. And then I have 2 plates that are the details of my daughter's birth. And they're super cute and I love having them. Okay, my daughters are cute and the plates are cute. My daughters are teens, so I don't know that they want to be known as cute. But see, like, concentrate. What's next to that? Next to that. And I think that that message, comparison is the thief of joy, right there. And then what's the next right thing? That's what I'm doing next. Okay, let's move to the right. Let's see where we're at. Now this is a lot of lines. I don't need to know what these shapes are. I just need light and dark. So it's funny, it's going to be almost like quadrants. You guys might already know that I like to take the rules and be like, whatever rules. Okay, so this is this little pantry thing where we keep a lot of canned goods down this hall. And it's called a chimney cabinet because it used to be placed in houses next to the chimney. But my brother saw it and he said it looks like a coffin. So now when we need to get something in the pantry, I'll ask my family to go get it out of the coffin, which is pretty awful, but also funny. Okay, so pantry. And then there's another wall over here. Because like I said, it's a little hallway. And so the way to communicate that, right, is these little angles. And I'll get the chairs and stuff in, but that intimidates me, so I moved on. That's another thing, right? Like there's a funny blend of you do what scares you and then you take a break. Okay, so the wall comes in, the wall goes back, and then we have the pantry that looks like a coffin. There's a bowl on top of that, and I make sourdough in there. All right, so look, I'm kind of making some progress. There is a little sign on the wall over here that is the AMC sign for Tuckerman's Ravine, which is one of the last hikes that I have done with my family in not the winter. Gosh, no, it was the summer, and I ended up hurting my feet hurt so bad that I had to go down backwards like a loser. But then I went to a podiatrist and got fixed. This is where my dog eats. He is awesome. Okay, we're getting there, and I like it. And you're getting this funny little snippet into my house. Okay, this is a Hitchcock chair, and it's black, so I can bear down a little bit more and claim that. All right, so this is solid here. Drawing is the basis of so many things. And that's what I've said too before. Like, look, it kind of looks like it could be a chair, right? This is how you really get to know something, right? You look at it carefully. Like if you were to take sketchbook on a trip, you learn to see your, like the landscape you're in such a new way. Look at this chair, it's coming into focus. And this is all just carefully next, right? And no straight lines, no rulers, just relax, it's all okay. The leg of the table comes down like this. We moved during the pandemic to a different place in my town. And we needed a table for this area. And I think the day we put the sign on the house that we were moving, this table and these chairs were on the side of the road. And so someone in town might recognize these chairs and table because I got them from the side of the road. I'm not going to say what side just because. Hey, look at that. All right, there's my house. Now, I'm not gonna like color anything in. I am going to start at the top and go down, and I'm gonna try to get the colors right the first time. But I'm gonna take a second and be like, hey, you did it. That's so fun. This kind of does speak to how I've been saying that I want to say different things when I paint. Like, yes, I'm a landscape painter, but I want to say like more like casual marks sometimes. So see how crazy this is? Like, I can't really blend it. And this is a little chalkboard, and it has our like our weekly agenda. And my husband's all excited because right now his Sunday says golf. And things get so much better when he can start playing golf again, because I know then the weather is improving so much. Our walls are very neutral. Do I have that color? Let's see. Might be tricky. Maybe it's this. This might be too dark, and it's too dark. This is where these sets that are for nature come in handy, because they'll have neutrals. And a lot of sets, they have like gorgeous colors, but they are certainly not neutral. I don't know if I'm going to have this color. Let's see. I'll keep looking. Yeah, this is good. What's funny is this yellowy, mustardy, orangey color influences this gray to make it look so much warmer than it is. And in reality, it is not that warm. It's not that cold. It's a warm gray. And much like in episode 36, where I did the underpainting and complementary colors, right? This color choice for the back it's acting like an underpainting. And I like that. The light comes through here. There's, it's over here too. Yeah. All right. Hey, we're getting there. I like it. It's a lot more fun when you like what you're doing, right? And so, when I was studying in Pont-Aven in Brittany, France, I had this amazing teacher. I think I've talked about her before, Susan Lichtman. She was a professor in Brandeis, and her work is a lot of these beautiful snippet interiors of like lifestyle scenes, raising her daughters. They make me feel really happy to look at. And what I really remember about her class was that she was talking about like painting from memory is a skill that you develop. And it has to do with, like, think about what's like your bed. Do you have a bedside table? You know what's on that. So try to draw that, and next, and next. And so there's something very methodical about and next that I'm trying to do here. That's making me think of her and her work. Okay, so there's, I don't know that this color is exactly right. but it's not wrong. I like when things kind of like build up here, you know, like color to color, on top of color, layered. So there's a wall here. You don't know, but there's a big sliding glass door here. So the light shines in. This is the door down this little hallway, and the light comes in, and the light comes in. So this part is very dark. Funny though, all that paint color is the same. Sometimes that's that combo of like paint what you see, not what you know. Like if I know everything is that color, then I would paint all that the same color, but they don't look the same. So there's trim, and the trim is a creamy color. And I just want it to feel warmer than white. So this is a like warm yellow tone, kind of in the ivory cream. And what's funny is because this is so warm, it doesn't even really read as ivory cream, but that's okay because it's different. And I just want it to feel like there's a difference. And I think my drawing is a little off here, but I'm gonna fix that later. Because like I said, that's not really what it's about. What color is the table? The table is like a warm brown. And let me see, I pulled out a brown. I don't know that it's warm enough. Is it this color? Yeah. So I'm making it the little pantry color. But I might warm that up later. All right. And this is wood, and so it builds up at different colors. There's a little frame around this blackboard, and so I'm just suggesting that. And what's fun about this is like, look, I already did it, like little marks, that's all it takes. I think this needs to be warmer, so I'm pulling out a color that probably is more like burnt sienna, and that's good. So the table. And see how it's kind of like textured? Like I can continue to build it up, but maybe I want that texture. And then I can suggest like the wood grain, the side of the table. Wow, this piece is very different for me. That's okay. All right. Hey, I like it. What color the floor, right? So we're doing big color, big color, big color. The floor again is wood, so we're very much this story of these wood tones. What color might this be? I can test them over here. This one kind of has a pinky note. I don't think that's right. I bet this one's right. This one might be the same value, lightness or darkness of a color, but have like a yellowy note. Yes, that's what I want. Right, so there's the floor. And I just kind of am putting it in at this angle that feels like the way that the boards are. So we've really covered this. This reminds me of some sort of illustration in my kids' books from the 70s growing up. Okay. So the light is coming in over here, and so I made a little change, like to show in the floor color. It's over here too. So we're close to getting to details. This is a pretty detailed piece, but even like more details. And I like details. So the chairs are that Hitchcock chair. The seats are like wood. And so I just claimed that seat. And look at just that kind of grounds it a little more. I'm going to take my black pastel. These are very dark black, but the chair is black. And this chair is important. And so, like, you know, look at that. So there's this here. Now my hand isn't very like certain, right? Because it's not very, you know, like I'm not a computer, I'm not AI. I am like showing that human part that is, like it's human. Someone is drawing this, and so there's like that, like it's a little wavery. Look at my little chair. And then there's this chair. I started paying attention to a lot of painters' subjects during the pandemic. People were very much painting what they saw. And during the pandemic, what they saw was inside, right? I was so overwhelmed during the pandemic that I was not painting my surroundings, but I did take tons and tons of reference photos. And I look back at them now, and like it was, my kids were a great age, and we did some really fun things. Heck, my sourdough starter is from the pandemic. And still going. Her name is Ada, like I ate a piece of bread. So with each thing that I cover, right, it's more information. And it's funny, if you look at these things, it's not like this hyper focus. It's kind of just a suggestion. This is the heat register. But actually right now it's just a mark, an angled mark that's a little bit lighter. There's some trim over here. There's this bowl up top. It's in shadow, and then it's also in light. This is a fun opportunity to do something like. And so lately I've been paying attention to, you know, my family is changing with my daughter in college. And the idea of like painting some of those scenes from when they were home might be a way that I can channel a very fun time for my family. You know, their childhood, not the pandemic, God. That was hard. There were some fun parts, but that was hard. See, I like those little details to that cabinet and the hinges. Okay, so there is a little frame here, and it's like one of those kind of folky frames that has kind of this little leafy detail here. I don't think I need this color. Maybe I'll put it on the, nah, that doesn't feel good. That's better. Right, so each mark, each layer, right? What next? What's the next right thing? What's the next right thing? So it's very dark right here against that. That is it this color? Yeah. And that's that little blending trick. It's a little hard edge over here. Maybe I want a little more detail here. And so pastel is very much drawing, and yet what you create is known as a painting, which is fun. And you can kind of see why here when, like what I'm doing is reminiscent of like the marks that I might make in a painting. I have my little gardening hat hanging here on some hooks, and so I'm trying to figure out the color of the straw hat. And the brim, right? So in essence, right, like I know that's a hat. There's a shape like that, and then the brim, right? That's a mess, but there, that mess is a hat. When I think back about like things that I've said in shows, there we go, look at that hat. This pencil line that I've always liked is showing up a little bit more, you know, in works like this. Right? Kind of energizing the space. We don't have a ton of time left, but I'm gonna keep going and let's see, can I get that fruit bowl? Sure I can. This was from a little vintage store. And in the winter, I put like paper whites and amaryllis in it. How about a banana? Right, there's some bananas. Right, the shape is this, but they're bananas, we know it. I think they're pears. And I can't get the green out. Let's see, so let's put some pears in. Maybe I want them to be oranges. Maybe that would be more collective. Doesn't matter. Here is my purse. And my goodness, let's put some things, some art in here. We're in the last few minutes. How much can I develop this? Oh goodness, this is fun. Do I want to say something in the chalkboard? A little suggestion. So, this one will have some fun at home, but there are some really lovely bits that are starting to develop, and there's some sort of like scribbly mark that makes me happy. That is like channeling what I really like about working, you know. I realized every time that I would do that underpainting, I would get excited. And so this is very much channeling those kinds of marks that I would make. The whole piece seems to be a lot about those marks. This one will be fun, that in a couple episodes, you know, maybe I'd bring it back and be like, look at where it ended up. I wonder how much more detail would be in here. Candle holder. A little candle. My daughter's little moon drawing. So, maybe take on something difficult to draw. See what happens. Consider that difference between that hat and that scribble, right? It doesn't have to be very difficult. It's just a shape, a blob, and it creates some sort of memory, some interior. And I'm glad that I gave it a shot. And I'm excited to see where it lands. So thanks so much for watching.